We got some Week 6 action between the 2-1 Carolina Panthers and the 2-2 New Orleans Saints here from Mercedes-Benz Dome, as Todd Gurley stuffed up like Thanksgiving turkey by missed tackle Marcus. Not missing that tackle, unlike the Minnesota Miracle. That would lead to New Orleans ball, as here's Champ Britton, the former Westlake Hornet, has more time than someone waiting in a McDonald's drive-thru. He has all the time in the world. He will take a shot deep and connect with Odell Beckham, who brings it to the 10-yard line. And then second and goal from the 12, Champ to Odell once again, throws spot on the money, and the Saints are on the board, as excellent grab by OBJ. However, the booth would review this play to see if he got both feet in, and it's hard to tell whether he gets his right foot in or his knee. However, the play would stand, and the Saints will make this game a 7-0 lead. Here comes Wes Lunt, the Illinois legend, on 3rd and 7, and we all love Wes Lunt, but sometimes he does play like a 53 overall, totally missing that pass, as the Saints would get it back, 3rd and 15. Here's Champ Britton. He would find Odell Beckham once again. Breaks the tackle, and Beckham would burn the safety, showing off the wheels, and then showing off the whip. Touchdown to Odell Beckham, his second score of the day, and the Saints will make it 14-0. Here's Carolina, Lunt to Will Fuller on the screen. His first completion goes for a loss of 5 yards, I believe. That was Jalen Ramsey with the tackle. Then second down, Lunt floats it for Sammy Watkins, his first positive pass of the day for a gain of 21 yards to the Clemson product. And then 3rd and 7 from the 23. The drive would all be for nothing. You can't spell intercepted without the D. That's Derwin James with it, and James would take it to the house for a Saint touchdown, as the running back could not catch him. And Derwin James would make this game 21-0. This one got ugly real quick, as 2:39 left. Here's Wes Lunt. He would be sacked on first down by Tremaine Edmonds. 2 sacks on the day for Tremaine Edmonds, as this game has just been a disaster for the Carolina Panthers. First down for Britton. Can the Saints put up some more points, as that was a beautiful pass to the 41-yard line. Very nice play for New Orleans, as Champ Britton. Have yourself a day, young man. 12 seconds left. Britton over to Antonio Brown, who of course was acquired from Carolina a few weeks ago, and then 9 seconds left. No field goal unit out yet, as there's Champ Britton over to his rookie tight end, Hugh Jass, for the touchdown, and that would make this game 28-0. Dominant lead for the Saints, who started off 0-2, but they are definitely back, as here returns the Panther offense. Todd Gurley starting the second half off with a nice run, before eventually being brought down by Derwin James, and that would lead to a Dan the Man Bailey field goal, and the Carolina Panthers are finally on the board, but they are down 28-3. Of course, we've seen 28-3 lead chokes happen before, so anything's possible. As Le'Veon Bell is stopped, I believe, by Kenny Clark, he will get injured. Luckily for the Saints, he would return to the game. The Saints' backups are Dalvin Cook, who actually would get traded after this episode, and then Kerryon Johnson, as Todd Gurley loses 2 easy reads. Green eggs and ham, as Miles Jack with the play. Then I decided to simulate. Saints will get a field goal from Matt Bryant, and then a Stephon Diggs touchdown. And that's all she wrote, folks. 38-3. Dominant victory for the New Orleans Saints, who are now over 500 for the first time this season. 4 scores for Champ Britton. Not a great day for Wes Lunt. Le'Veon was solid. A big performance from Odell Beckham. There's Ayo Aluko, Champ's former college teammate. Quiet day from Diggs and AB. And then the sacks, only one allowed the entire game, which was by Kyle Bosch. 2 sacks for Garrett, 1.5 for Tremaine Edmonds. And an all-around dominant victory for the New Orleans Saints. Looking around the rest of the OFL, the Chicago Bears back on the win column, beating the Houston Texans. Okay days from Herb 9 and Big Ben Roethlisberger, as I believe the Texans only have 1 win, I want to say, as meanwhile the Chicago Bears are now 2-3 or 2-4. I don't remember if they had a bye week last week or not. I know they have 2 wins, but I don't know how many losses they have. Next up, we have the Dolphins barely beating the Jets 22-20. It looks like Miami got a game-winning safety in overtime. Stafford 424 yards. He was not great, however. Neither was Cam Britton. However, the Miami Dolphins are 5-1 with their only loss coming to the divisional rival Buffalo Bills, who are also having a really nice season. So watch out for the Dolphins. They only won like 6 games last year, but they are legit contenders this season to go far in the OAFC. The New York Giants beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as Tampa Bay, who started off 3-0, falls to 3-3 as it looks like that start was just a fluke. Obviously, the NFC South is one of the better divisions in the OFL, led by the Saints, Panthers, and Falcons, and the Bucs looked like they could really compete for a little bit, but that seems like it's going to be all for nothing, as it looks like they're just going to be tanking once again this season. Cincinnati Bengals back on the win column, beating the Philadelphia Eagles 20-14. The Eagles are sort of sliding after a nice start to the season. Meanwhile, the Cincinnati Bengals get their second win, I want to say, on this season. I believe they are now 2-4, as it has not been a great year for the Bengals, but this team has some promise, I think, to potentially make it as a wild card. And on to the next game, it would be the Steelers and Bills, a pair of 4-1 opponents, and the Bills get the win. So the Buffalo Bills are now 5-1, led by a dominant day from Carson Wentz, so I think has definitely been the OFL MVP up to this point. Yeah, Wentz struggled in Week 1, then was traded to Buffalo, and he has been almost flawless ever since then. Meanwhile, the Steelers fall down to 4-2, as the Steelers have made the playoffs 2 years in a row, and it looks like there's a very good chance that they will return for a third straight season if they keep playing at the trajectory that they are at, especially with a questionable AFC North. The Packers defeat the Colts 42-31, as it looks like it'll be another great year from the Green Bay Packers, as I believe they are now 3-1-1, 4-1-1. I think they're 4-1-1. So definitely watch out for them as a contender. Meanwhile, the Indianapolis Colts, I believe they are now 3-3. Jack Jackson with another great day, as Jack Jackson has had a really good rookie year. Looks like the Colts made the right choice by going with him over Herb 9, as Jack Jackson has been by far the superior player. The Kansas City Chiefs beat the LA Chargers. Big game from Daniel Jones, as the Chiefs, I believe, are now 3-2-1. The Chiefs, of course, made the OFL Bowl last year, and it's been a little bit of a slow start. However, they are in a very weak division, the OAFC West, and should have no problem winning that division and advancing to the playoffs once again, as the Cardinals beat the 49ers 26-7. The Niners have been the definition of inconsistent. They have beat some great teams. They have lost to some bad teams. And meanwhile, the Cardinals 2-0 since their bye week. They are now 2-3. Of course, their head coach and front office want to tank, and they can still do that, but this win won't help them. Meanwhile, for the Niners and head coach Morphus Washington, I believe they are now 3-3. The Patriots beat the Raiders 21-14. It does not look like either of these teams will be contending for a playoff spot this year. Patriots have 1 win. Patriots have 2 wins, Raiders only have 1 or 2. Because neither of these teams really look great. Of course, New England has won the AFC East 2 years in a row now. It doesn't look like that will be the case with the Bills and Dolphins. Likely, they're going to have like a dogfight for that division. Both of those teams are, of course, 5-1. And the Raiders have just not been great either. As next up, the Lions beat the Vikings 35-13. The Vikings actually fired their coach after this game and hired Alpo Pull. As for the Lions, 5 touchdowns, and Russell Wilson making his team debut, of course, being traded over from the Saints, who would have loved to have kept Russell Wilson, but Champ Britton had superstar dev, and that persuaded Stupid enough, as Russell Wilson trying to make the Saints regret it, but Champ Britton's 4 touchdowns, I don't think the Saints really regret it right now, as the Rams beat the Seahawks in dominant fashion, as the defending OFL champion Rams are now 4-2. Of course, LA got upset back in Week 2 by the Seahawks, and after that game, it really looked like the Seahawks will be a team to watch out for, but ever since then, they've only won 1 out of their past 4, and now sit at 500, and I think the I think the Seahawks team certainly does have a chance, only 1 game behind the Rams, but they've definitely been inconsistent. The Atlanta Falcons defeat the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys only sitting at 1 win still. Solid game from Eric Dungey, as we have had some Eric Dungey for OFL MVP. I don't think so. I think it should be the former Falcon quarterback Carson Wentz, who, of course, Atlanta traded away and then started Dungey, and it looks like that trade worked out for both the Falcons and the Bills, as Eric Dungey has played better than Carson Wentz did in Atlanta. And then, obviously, Wentz has been great for the Bills. And then the Cleveland Browns beat the Baltimore Ravens 24-17. Ravens got off to a hot start. It looks like they are likely cooling down. I believe they are now 2-3, if I'm not mistaken. Quarterback Ryan Tannehill still playing really well. And meanwhile, for the Browns, as it's been a mess start for Cleveland, but they did make the playoffs last year and are definitely hoping to make it once again. And I expect the AFC North to be another tight battle, just like last year between the Steelers and Browns. So here's a look at Week 7. If you're interested in coaching, I will leave a link to the Discord in the description. And as always, have a great Friday. Peace out.
I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world. Laughing plastic, it's fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere. Imagination, life is your creation.
Yo, hey,